welcome everyone to our onboarding sessions for the Decentraland DAO. We're going through fundamentals and basic concepts about Decentraland as a project as a whole, but mainly about the DAO and how to engage and how to participate in the DAO. So for that, again, we'll go like from scratch and an intro to talk about Decentraland, an intro to say what is Decentraland. Uh, we could say that Decentraland is a decentralized virtual world owned by its users. It's also an open source platform powered by Ethereum blockchain. And for me and for a lot of community members, Decentraland is about create, experience, and monetize the content and applications within this virtual world. So Decentraland is mainly about achieving ownership on those digital assets and the user's identities, each user's identities. So that's what is like at a really high level what Decentraland is, uh, like conceptually talking. Those virtual assets that we are talking about are mainly composed by Mana. That's the fungible cryptocurrency token that we use in this ecosystem, like to trade assets, to vote. We're going there later. Land that are basically the parcels that you use to deploy content in Genesis City. That is the world, the actual virtual world that we all know. Now we have another thing called worlds that it's also a plot of land that you can access and manage with your name, with a name. That's another one of the digital assets that you can acquire here in Decentraland. And when we talk about other assets, we also talk about wearables and emotes that are like, well, and names that are like the main way to express yourself within this virtual world. And not only to express yourselves, but also we were talking about digital identities, and this is part of that identity. So here we have Genesis City, and Genesis City again is the virtual world composed by parcels, by lands where people deploy different scenes and experiences. And this was Genesis City on 2017 when the first land action happened. So there you will see like large plots of land that have been bought by early contributors, and there was nothing there. And here we have like a satellite view of how Genesis City looks right now. You will still see like a lot of empty parcels, but you will also see that there are a lot of scenes, lots of experiences deployed here in this virtual world. So this is pretty much what's happening right now in Genesis City. Uh, this is a map created by a grantee of the DAO. So yeah, it's really nice to see how the growth of the Decentraland through these couple of years. So when we talk about the experiences, scenes, and everything that happens within the platform, we talk about, for example, music events, the Fashion Week event, one of the most huge events within the Decentraland. A lot of games, play to earn or games, multiplayer games that are and mostly single player games that are deployed within Decentraland. So let's say you start exploring Decentraland and you find a parcel where a game is deployed. You can experience that game, you can participate in that game, and that game is part of this huge world that we're talking about. We also have a lot of companies that are experiencing, that are trying to create new ways to engage their customers. And when I say they are trying to engage their customers in like trying new stuff, is by deploying these experiences in Decentraland. So here, for example, you can see Dolce& and Gabbana, Forever 21, Tommy Hilfiger, like a lot of huge brands that are saying, hey, the metaverse could be a good way to engage or to expand our bases. So with that said, like with an overall of the Decentraland project as a whole, what does it mean, this virtual world? We can talk about the organizations behind this project. And we have the foundation on one side, that it's mainly dedicated to the platform development and the dApps development, such as the marketplace. And we have the DAO. What are we doing here, basically? And the DAO decides on the protocol smart contracts, meaning that the DAO decides on what happens with the smart contracts within this virtual world. The Decentraland DAO is composed mainly by the community. The community is the soul of the DAO, obviously. We also have committees dedicated to specific tasks, and we have squads that work for the DAO. So again, the Decentraland DAO owns the most important smart contracts, such as the land contract, the world contract, the content servers, and the marketplace contract. So the DAO decides on what happens with that smart contracts, and having the power to decide on that smart contracts and what happens within the internal governance system of the DAO allows us to decide not only on smart contracts but also on content curation, let's say wearables, emotes, whatever you want to like deploy or create in the virtual world. The fees and the treasury, the DAO has a treasury, and the DAO decides what to do with that treasury. We're going there later, and to decide what happens within the community ecosystem. And for that, we build policies. So to talk about policies and governance as a whole, let's start with some basics. Getting back to what we mentioned about these virtual assets, those virtual assets help serve as a way to gain voting power. And with voting power, you decide and you vote on what happens in the DAO. So for example, we have here mana, names and land that are like the basic digital assets that contribute BP. And one mana contributes 1 BP, one name contributes 100 BP, and one land parcel contributes 2 KBP. So if you have two land parcels, you will have 4 KBP. If you have two names, you have 200 BP. And if you combine them, you will have the result of that for the BP. Something important to know at the time of voting, the moment that you're going to vote, something that you should take into account is that we use a snapshot, a common tool used by most of DAOs. And snapshot means that the voting power that you're going to use to vote on a proposal is the voting power that you had at the time of the creation of that proposal. So let's say you have 2 mana last week and the proposal was created that day. You will have 2 mana, 2 BP to vote on that proposal. If you had 2 BP last week and the proposal was created today, you won't have any BP because of the snapshot system. That's really important for you to know at the time of voting. So how do you use BP? We have like a long list of type of proposals, such as the points of interest, where the community decides on what places within this virtual world are of general interest and are marked in the map. We have the catalyst node proposals to decide on adding or removing servers that sustain the platform, name bans to ban names that are offensive somehow for other members of the community, grant requests, we're going there later, wearable registry, hiring for hiring committee members, pre-proposal poll, draft proposal, and governance proposal that are like the same thing but are different stages of the same process. Pitch proposal, tender proposal, and bid proposal, the same. Those three are part of the same process for a bidding and tendering procedure, a licitations process, but each one of those is a different stage for the process. So the most two important type of proposals that we use and that the people vote are grant requests and governance proposals. Grant requests are the way that the Decentraland DAO funds or gives funds to different projects for, let's say, well, there's a huge universe of on what you could do with the grant, but the grant basically allows any member of the community to request funding to make contributions on community building, education, 3D content, new features, improvement of the platform, social media. Well, there you have the. Sorry, didn't see that the categories were like below. So yeah, accelerator, core unit, documentation, inward content, platform, sponsorship, so and social media. And the DAO has possesses a mana fund that has been set aside to help to sponsor and facilitate those projects. So We have a treasury, and from that treasury, we have a part that's dedicated, fully dedicated to fund projects from the community. Then we have the governance proposal. Again, one of the most important things that you should know is that binding decisions, that policies that the DAO builds need to go through a three-stage governance process. And binding governance proposal is basically a formal submission by a community member or stakeholder that wants to propose changes, improvements, or initiatives for the platform, for the governance system, for the grants program, for the treasury, for the whole ecosystem. It's the way that we organize ourselves. So these proposals and this three-stage process are like the most fundamental parts of the decentralized decision-making process. And these uh, type of proposals allow every community member to have a say in the direction and evolution of the projects, not only by voting, but also commenting on those proposals. So that were kind of the basics of Decentraland. We're having now, after this, an AMA section for you if you want to ask questions. If I can answer them, I will do it. If not, we can follow up later. But now we're going through another thing that I believe it's as important as the whole system that we described, and it's how to get started. How we think you should get started if you want to contribute or to engage with the community or with the platform. First of all, join the Discord and introduce yourself. There's a dedicated channel in the Discord. So if you're new in the community, best case scenario will be for you to introduce yourselves, tell something about your background, and let the community give you a proper welcome. You should also join the forums where a lot of governance issues, a lot of grant related issues, everything that happens in this community is posted there, or most of the things that happen in the community are posted there. So it's also really important for you not only to register in the Discord, but also in the forums. Visit the governance platform that it's linked with the forums. So when you comment on a proposal, it's linked with the forums. And when you visit the governance platform, take your time to check what's happening in the DAO right now. What are the hot topics? What are the governance issues? And you will start seeing there the, the different proposals, the different type of proposals, and the different issues, and the reasoning before the reasoning behind those governance proposals. It's really important for you, again, to join the different channels for communication and to join the governance platform and start reviewing the different proposals to know what's happening in the DAO. Another thing that we suggest is to visit our recently approved code of ethics. It's really important for you to know that this is a huge community. Sometimes there's a lot of conflict of interest, conflict because community members have different points of view. There's a lot of money in the game, so people fight for money, and that's the true. So it's important for you to know like the main guidelines and the rules of enforcement that we have here in the DAO. And those rules were based on other Web3 communities and our other Discord, so they are kind of the standard of every Web3 community. What we also suggest is to visit the legislative tracker once you already visited the governance platform, or maybe before visiting the governance platform. It's a good idea for you to visit the way we track our governance binding decisions. It's just like an index with every binding decision. I'm actually going to share that link here because not everyone knows that this exists. Maybe some of the people that's already in the community doesn't know about this. So this is the legislative tracker, and then you can see like all binding decisions that this community has made in the past, and like it's updated. Like I think last update was yesterday or the day before, so you can see there every binding decision. And what the last recommendation that we can do here is participate on community events. And when we say events, we are not talking only about the official ones that are in the Discord on our calendar, but also the events organized by the community. And there are like tons of events organized by the community, gatherings, parties. Like the universe is like huge. So pay special attention not only to like regular meetings and like official ones such as the town halls and the open sessions and the working group sessions, but also community driven events that are, I believe, the best way not to know how the DAO works, but to actually know the people that participates in the DAO, to know the actual creators, to know the people that's engaging with the platform. So with that said, what do we not recommend? And these are the basics that you should know if you want to start engaging with the community. First of all, do not request a grant without engaging with the community first. So let's say you started participating this week, you ask for a grant. I have to be honest, I have to be transparent. People's going to hate you. They're going to vote no to your proposal. They're going to say that you're an outsider. And we're a huge community, but at the same time, we're kind of endogamic sometimes. So it's really important for you, if you're planning to present a project, a request a grant, not only to introduce yourself, but first to engage with the community. Start voting, start participating in discussions, start joining different events, and after that, request a grant. Because if not, it's not going to be productive for anyone. Another thing that we suggest is not to jump into general conversations without context. Because again, a lot of people discussing all the time in a synchronous manner, in an asynchronous manner. If you jump in there without context, you will be targeted. You will be targeted, and we don't want that, and the community doesn't want that. So before starting a discussion or like saying something about something, try to get context, try to be informed. And last of all, but not least important, do not take things personally. This is again a DAO that sometimes has conflict. I personally believe this is going to be controversial, but I do think conflict. I mean, conflict and discussion about ideas sometimes create engagement, and sometimes from conflict come great ideas and great policies. But at the same time, consider that you should not take things personally. If you're having a discussion with someone, if you're like if you have different points of view with someone, try not to take it personally. Discuss about the ideas, not about the people. Okay, so with those recommendations, here is like a quick list of the regular meetings that we have and the regular events that we have. So I mentioned the town hall. We have the next one, I believe, on next Thursday. They are on a bi-weekly basis. Open sessions that are mainly organized by working group facilitators or the committees or the DAO squads. Uh, Testing Tuesdays, one of like the best places for you to know what projects funded by the DAO, how those projects are going, and to test the projects in real time. The Brick by Brick Builders Club, that it's basically a format that we use to interview content creators and to go further on their like creation process. Okay, it's not only about the things that they do, but how they do it. So it's really nice. They are really nice sessions, uh, and we highly suggest you all also to join those onboarding sessions. Here we are. So again, really glad that a lot of people from the community joined and that we have new joiners here. Again, I'm going to reinforce this. If you think we should add something to this presentation, please let me know. We can totally add it, we can totally modify it to improve it. Another one of the most important events is the Decentraland Hands that it's a session that we hold with the foundation, the ones in charge of the platform development, every 7 weeks to discuss about like the last releases and future plans for the roadmap. And that's structured like with first with like high level announcements, then with product updates, and then we have an AMA section where you can ask anything to the foundation. So that was pretty much all for this quick introduction to the Decentraland ecosystem, to the DAO, to the Decentraland platform. I hope you like it. And again, if you have any questions or anything about related to the DAO or the platform, let me know. Raise your hand. I try to answer. There are also some community members here, so they can help me to answer those questions. And if not, we can follow up or like um, reach out people that's more prepared to answer your questions. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's me. Like, sorry, I'm by my phone. I should go very soon, but I would like to say big thank you. I know about Decentraland so much, and I sometimes participate in the Twitter spaces, X spaces to learn by different communities. But your presentation was super understandable, informative. Like, I understand whole structure right now. Everything is started to be on the same. Like it's on the right places. This I really appreciate it because Engage is going, and we are watching by my community's choice. Decentralized communities stand for LGBTQ plus. We are facilitated culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and we are using different platforms. And definitely now we have a kind of part of our family who have a world. If I'm not. Wrong is drugverse, salty, and we also would love to have like a world or land, and this is kind of way for engage and be a part because we would love to provide a technical diversity for people. Platform is different, taste is different, and people are supposed to be feeling the platform comfortable. But thank you so much. For me, it's super understandable by this talk. Again, everything stand on the right places.
Thanks a lot, Alexander. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate your feedback, and I'm really happy that you're already like trying some stuff in Worlds. So yeah, nice to have you here. I hope to see you like in the Discord, in the forums, and voting in the governance platform. Thanks a lot.
I will try my best, and thank you, Sirena, that she's bring me here. Like it, I know with whom I need to talk, like to get more details. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy, and I just need to jump on next call. See
Bye
you
bye.
around. Bye.
Yeah. Also, thanks Arena for bringing these new joiners as last time. So it's really important to like to not only to tackle the issue of people joining the Discord and not understanding, but also bringing people from communities that are already formed to bring them closer to our DAO, to bring them closer to our ecosystem. So a lot of thanks for that.
No problem. I'm glad I'm able to help or assist in any way. I do have a question though. I know that you gave me this doc, Google Doc, but I was curious if you have anything that's like more, I guess, detailed into the Decentraland DAO. Like, I don't know if that's something that you have yet.
What do you mean with this? I have one presentation for the governance process, like the three-stage governance process, and I'm working on other materials. But if you say what will be good to add to the presentation and to have another separate presentation with specific content, let me know. Hey Shan, how are you? Um, but yes, what we have right now is these fundamentals and basic concepts presentation, and another one for the governance process, like going through each one of the different stages. I can show it right now. It's not finished, but like it's pretty much the same. Like the three-stage governance process. Where do we come from? Where are we now? Pre-proposal poll, the requirements. What is a pre-proposal poll? A draft proposal. What is a draft proposal? Binding governance proposal. What is a binding governance proposal? and the process. It's a short presentation, but let me know what content would you like to add to this or the other presentation, and we can like create another one with more specified content, or just I don't know. Let me know what do you think should be a more focused presentation for the DAO. Let me know that, and we can work with it.
Yeah, I think what you have there is great. I would love to have that. And then I guess one important thing would probably be like the process of applying for a grant. For someone
Yep.
new, they might not understand that. So I think that would be a really good one.
Yeah, that's on pipeline. I'm working on that too. So yeah, we're definitely going to work on that, and maybe we can merge the governance one with the grants one, because they're both about submitting proposals in the DAO, and those are the most important proposals in the DAO. If not, we can like split them out. But yeah, I'm working on that, and maybe for the next week I can share it with you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And good to be here. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks everyone, and uh, if you don't have any more questions, we can wrap it up here. This is being recorded, so this is also going to be uploaded. And yeah, that will be pretty much all. Sorry, Shen, that you came late, but yeah, we were just closing. So if you want to ask anything, please let me know. Reach out by DM, and let's figure it out. But again, thanks everyone for joining. Have a nice day.